Hi guys, how's it going today? It's November the 15th, about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time here on this beautiful Friday. Hang on, I need a little bit more wood. It's looking gorgeous right now. Winter Wonderland here in Winnipeg, Manitoba with Philakone Crypto. Alright guys, we have seen it come to fruition, haven't we, okay? We've seen that we've been expecting this specific call and this specific range for a while now, and I think that we eventually reached it. So now the big question is going to loom around, are we going to be finding any type of support? I'm gonna make sure that the camera's smaller, don't worry guys, I'm on top of it. Right now, as it stands, we're gonna do a market summary of just the top coins that I follow, which is generally Bitcoin, EOS, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, and also NEO right now, BAB, and also BSV. Generally the top 10 coins on CoinMarketCap that's treatable on Bitfinex that also allow short opportunities. So right now, we're gonna summarize very quickly what has been going on thus far, okay? We're going to look at it on the big picture and also the little picture here. If we look at it on the big picture on the daily, we see that the uptrend began on December the 16th in 2018, obviously. We had a huge bull run that ended up going for 192 days, which is about 6 months and 12 days on average. And then of course now we're going to find some sort of correction, and the consolidation so far has been happening for over 141 days, which is equivalent to about 4 months and 21 days, we'll say, if we average it out to 30 days a month. Okay, so it's fair, in my opinion, that we're uptrending for 100, we're correcting for roughly the same time that we were uptrending, if not actually longer. Now, another thing to make note of from the big picture is that we have this channel that has been very well respected thus far, and it's very hard to argue against that because we see the proof in the pudding of how many times it has touched this particular channel and it has bounced or had some major reaction. So now what I'm waiting for is to see what is going to happen at this specific price point of the 0.618 Fibonacci level, and to me that's a very significant number. It's a magical ratio that is found everywhere in the universe, and it is very pleasing to the human eye as well based on the geometrical spirals, and we find it also in the stock market. Very lucky that we are able to identify certain structures. So now we've been waiting for a very long time, okay? Let's talk about going far back. Let's talk about going as far back as here. Look at this right here, okay? We actually got right to the golden pocket range. Just a refresher, in less than 30 seconds for the people that are unfamiliar with the golden ratio, going both ways. This is generally where people would like to enter a position because it's a magical, I should say magical, but it's a Fibonacci sequence of numbers from a ratio. That's how these Fibonacci retracements are derived. Okay, they're formulated from ratios, or just from one of the Fibonacci numbers divided by another, okay? So then you would want to, and because it's found everywhere in the universe for the people that don't know, it's found from the way our bodies are proportional to each other, to the way sand is shaped, to the way artists and architects naturally design buildings to this ratio, to the way the galaxy is spiraled, to the way our genes are coiled in our DNA. It's amazing. It's also found in the stock market, right? Go look up more about it. Fibonacci sequence of numbers, golden ratio, if you are unfamiliar with it. So if you would like to enter a position, it's very ideal to enter a long position here, right? Or, I'm not saying to enter there, I'm talking about generally speaking. I'm not talking about you guys can enter however much you want based on your sizing, you know what I'm saying? But this is not a financial advice. This is just talking about it in a very general perspective, okay? I personally always like to do 25% here, and I look for a breakout and I add a little bit more. I just want to make sure that I get a higher low first of all. And then if you look at it from this perspective as well, okay, on the downside, this one here is where you might want to consider a long entry. Here is where you might want to consider a short entry, okay? Makes sense? Now let me show you something right here. In nature, we have found it everywhere. 618 is found everywhere in nature, and we happen to hit 618 when we came from here, and then we retrace back to there. And you know what the crazy part is? Not even that. The crazy part is this. That this right here, okay, look, also hit the exact same 618 again, the second time. So not only did it hit here one time, okay, and now we're looking at another major pivot. And the major pivot goes something like this. So the next major pivot that we see is right here. First of all, we respect this channel. Okay, this has been established for a pretty long time now, right folks? 141 days as mentioned. And now we're seeing this possible pivot right here. Right now we are exactly where we want to be for a possible amazing trade. I am not encouraging you to go into the trade. I'm just talking about, generally speaking, about the golden ratio. Everything that you do is always up to you. It is always your choice. It is always your risk, right? I mean, if that guy right there, the bear behind me, do you see the bear behind me? If he really wanted to take over, he can take over the market anytime. I mean, when you think about who really has control, do we actually have control of the market? Or is it people like just major bears and whales and sharks and bulls in the market? I don't know, guys. I just feel like that guy is always controlling the market right now for Bitcoin. There's always a part of him that just wants to make sure the bulls are destroyed, and it just wants to bring it down to like 3K. But of course, there's the Bitcoin enthusiasts out there that will prevent that at all costs. I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to 1K, to be quite honest again, or even 3K. If it does, I'll be quite surprised, and I'll need a lot of empirical evidence. Excuse me. I burped there. That was rude of me. Okay, so now the big question is, will this actually happen for a third time? If it does happen for a third time, I'm going to be extremely happy. And the target will still stand in the worst case scenario, okay? So let's talk about the bear scenario first of all, okay? The bear scenario is very simple. Now, bear with me. Bear with me, okay? First support up there, second support right there, 8K. That is where a possible support could be. If this does not hold, first of all, within the golden pocket range, then we're going to easily confirm that, like, if this doesn't hold, we're going to easily be able to tell that this 8K range will be a very prominent support. We also take a look here on the daily now. We finally see that it has trended below the 200 moving average. Now we go to the weekly as well, and let's see how this is looking. At the weekly, we see right here that 8K is the support, okay? Not only is 8K the support for the weekly 55 moving average, but it is also coinciding directly with the 0786 Fibonacci level, right? Right here, roughly. $79.50-ish, right? If I go on the weekly rather, what we see is that it's right above or right below the 55 EMA rather. So we know that it's a very prominent number, this 8K. But more importantly, we're at the golden ratio range, and this could have a significant impact on the psychology and if people actually come in to buy. You also take a look on the 2-day chart. Where do you see the 200 moving average, 8K range? You go on the 3-day, it's most likely right around there as well, 8,050. So we've got a lot of different places right now that are support ranges, okay? We're sandwiched between, for example, the 3-day chart here. We're sandwiched between the 55 EMA and also the 200 EMA, right? So you know that 8800 has always been a resistance, okay? If you take a look right now at the 55 EMA on the 3-day chart, it's right at 8800-ish, right? And then if you take a look at the 200 EMA here, you see that it's right at 8K. So we know this 8K to 8800 range is very significant right now, and something needs to give soon. So I think that we might even trend exactly here for a while until we find some sort of conviction to one side or the other. And now what we're going to do is we're going to walk down the line and take a look, for example, on the weekly, what it's doing. Now that we are about 5 days into the weekly looks like it's making a stretch for 8K, doesn't it? But let's see if we will get a reaction here first. This right here is concaving. Think of a cave, and this is the word for concave. This is convex, right? What we want is for it to convex, go like that, upwards, not concave, because if it concaves, it can come back to the downside. So the weekly has a lot of steam to come down right now. The 2 days is about to cross over in 1 day. The 1 day is already going down hard with conviction right now. Okay, so actually when I think about this, there's actually a lot more signs that it's a big chance anybody would be taking to risk it at the 618 Fibonacci level. But then again, we have to respect this particular region down over here, right? It's got a lot of activity from September the 23rd, which is a very long time. And even further back, that's 52 days. But it spans even further back than that, okay? Because we're talking about this particular region here as well. So realistically, it's spanning for about half of a year already, 180 days. Now you go to the daily, and you see trending down, 12 hours, trending down. Anything giving us hope right now? Anything at all? Nope. No, we're not getting a series of higher highs or higher lows anymore. But this is moving so uniformly down right now that it gives me a lot of hope that it can just break to the upside anytime soon. So actually look on the 10-hour chart, RSI, keep an eye on that. Let's go to the 8-hour chart, same thing roughly. Okay, same thing roughly, where the 8-hour chart is probably looking beautiful. Setting up, I think. Yeah, maybe. See this right here? Maybe this will be a lower highs. Or lower lows, rather. Now let's go down the chart even more to a 6-hour chart here. This is on the very low side of the histogram in MACD. Are we getting any higher highs or higher lows for RSI? What I am seeing right now is this. What I'm seeing is... Actually, let's go to 4-hour. It seems like the only saving grace we have right now is the golden ratio. But we're not getting any series of higher or higher lows. Like here, if we compare it right now, okay, we're comparing. I love my sit-stand desk. It's awesome. I'm standing up right now. If you guys don't know, yeah, we're comparing. For example, you know, this point here, right here. Whoops, I meant to go vertical. Here, this range, and this range now, right? Clearly we see that the RSI is it's got a higher low, okay, which means that of course it's gaining some bullish divergence right now, but we are also death crossed on the 55 and the 200 EMA. So that is a little bit scary right now that we've lost kind of conviction. It's just this one candle that ended up dropping it, right? It dropped it to 8,400, exactly to where we wanted it to be. But now we're taking a huge risk. And always remember that without any risk, there's no possibility of reward. With the greater risk, you can yield a better reward. Okay, now I'm waiting right now. I'm seeing it leveling off on the RSI. Is it gonna flip over very soon? I'm trying to see when the momentum's gonna roll over. I'm gonna go to 90-minute chart now. It's still downtrending hard. There's the first crossover. So I'm waiting very patiently right now for more signs of stability before I add to my XRP position. And my XRP position, my base price is 259. I caught it around 256, about 25,000 XRP right now. Okay, and then let's just do a quick summary on these coins as well, right? Same thing, EOS is still trying to break above here to the channel, like I was mentioning. we could probably get another 1% gain. This is not looking that promising in any way right now, though. It's not that interesting. XRP is the one that's really interesting because of the 10-hour chart that ended up failing, actually. But there's still a chance for it to recover with a higher low, right? So it can really just flip any day. I'm being very aggressive right now with my trade. I could possibly make over $500-600 today if it levels off. See the RSI here for the 5 hour is starting to really not want to inch down lower. And if Bitcoin finds support as well, obviously I'll be in really good shape for here. Yeah, so I'm just looking at it stabilize on the R side, not wanting to dip below the 30 right now. On the 4 hour chart, we got basically a morning star candle or a doji candle. That's just beautiful. I think that after a wick like this that rejected to the downside of 3%, there could be some really nice gains to be had soon on many coins because we have downtreaded for a significant amount of time already. Therefore, it is bound for us to have some sort of reversal soon, in my opinion. What goes down very fast eventually finds support. And I look at Ethereum right now, it's kind of not that interesting. It's kind of like EOS. It got some hammer candles on the 4 hour, right? So they're all in the same boat right now. You know, I think the only coin that's not correlating the best with Bitcoin is NEO because it had its massive run. So now it's in massive correction mode while Bitcoin is also in correction mode, but it's still sideways more than NEO right now. NEO is just, if you take a look at NEO, right, just this is kind of what you're seeing. Is that insane that it dropped 12% there and I've been calling the short for a while now? That's just pure accuracy, guys, honestly. Do you guys know how long I've been calling 0618 for now as well? A very long time, right? And I can't believe we actually hit it. I just thought I'd tell you guys something really funny about yesterday, right? Yesterday I actually had to re-upload my video on YouTube, and I had to re-edit and re-upload it because there was a point where I thought that I was not recording at all, right? I thought I stopped it for a while, and I just let out the biggest fart of my life, and I kid you not, it lasted like 5 full Elliott wave subwaves. That's how long it was, and it could have even been longer, but there's just no correction. And some people actually saw it, so I had to, you know, take it off and put it back up there and edit it, and it was really funny. But the funniest thing in my opinion was that you guys never caught me masturbating to Channing Tatum. That's Magic Mike. I'm just joking. I think I'm allowed one joke a day, guys, right? I've been on really good behavior lately on YouTube and on Twitter. If you've noticed, there's not really a lot of drama. I'm much more professional, so I think I'm allowed to joke once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So now, yeah, Litecoin still trying to break into the channel again, right? It tried, but then it completely failed. Every single coin across the board right now is all in the same boat. Where are we about to find support? We are extremely low right now on RSI on many coins. Bitcoin is reaching to the 30s already, right? And you know, we're talking about XRP reaching low as well on the 12-hour chart. Even on the 6-hour chart, we're getting way down to the 30s. So are we gonna get this bounce? Are we not? Nobody knows. Nobody can pretend that they know, and if they do, they don't know. So now stay tuned, guys. It's just gonna be a matter of time before we have a clear conviction. Next video that I give you guys later this evening will be one that's very detailed, talking about all the coins generally again, but we're going to analyze a little bit further and try to add Elliott Wave into it. If I have time, I'll try my absolute best. You guys, I got some major plans this weekend. I'm hosting a Santa Claus parade party. I rented a really cool Airbnb because I thought that it would, you know, the people that are going to it, it's really cold outside. And this is the end of the technical analysis, by the way, guys. Thank you very much for joining. I just thought I'd talk about my plans. The Santa Claus parade is like a parade in my city where they have a lot of floats. And there's like hundreds of floats that come by. It goes for about 2 hours, and it's also the time where, when the floats go by, the whole city downtown lights up with their Christmas light decorations and trees, etc. So people all gather there. It's a really big event. People line up like literally 15 to 20 blocks. Like, that's big in my city. You know, because they take their kids, and then all the lights are lighting up, and you see all the Christmas floats. So it's just a Christmas, you know, city festivity that we have. I think a lot of cities have this, right? So instead of going outside to freeze because it's like minus 25 at night here in my city, I figured, why don't I just, you know, why don't we just rent like an Airbnb or something, like a nice hotel equivalent that has a balcony that overlooks the city on that particular street. And I thought it was a really cool idea because the people that are going to it anyways with their kids, they can come hang out with me because a lot of my friends are coming with their kids too. And the people that haven't been to it before in a long time, I want to encourage them to come join me, right? So it's just kind of bringing in the Christmas spirit together. And I thought it'd be a really cool event. And you know, it's a very modest place, guys. Like, you know, think about, it's 147 Canadian dollars, which is about 110 American dollars. It's pretty cheap, right? Very cheap, I think, for a place that can hold 20 people that overlooks the city for a parade. So I figured, yeah, I'm just gonna get $10 from each one of my friends, right? We're all gonna chip in because, you know, I don't want to always be that guy that looks like I'm treating everybody. So I make it really equal to my friends, right? Just so we're always on an even keel financially, because that can tip the balance of friendship sometimes. Do you guys understand what I mean? There are many friends that don't see me as Philakone Crypto, and they're gonna chip in for my gas even and give me $2, etc. Not that I care about it, but you know how much that gesture means to me? Where a guy puts in a toonie or something into my change container in my car for my gas. So yeah, I don't know. I like to observe social dynamics the most, and just to see how people are doing. And yeah, it's kind of like I grew up a little bit on you know, a little bit more street smart than book smart, you can say, believe it or not. So anyways, have yourselves a great night, guys. I look forward to seeing you this evening, and I hope that you took something away from this tactical analysis. Bye now.